Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Oluronke Oluwaleri. I'm a life and emotional wellness coach. I'm thankful and grateful to everyone who was present at our just concluded Mind the Mind 2.0 program. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being, taking out time to be with us. We appreciate your presence. And we hope that everything that we were able to discuss that day, we hope that you're taking actions towards minding your relationship. And this is like a sequel to what we discussed that day, like in making sure that we keep to our promise. There were some questions that we had that day that we couldn't take due to time constraints. And so we actually promised our audience that we're going to, have a forum or just have a short video to address some of those questions that came up that day that we couldn't take because of time. Okay, I'm glad that you're here now as well. Please do subscribe to our channel, like, and then leave a comment. Your feedbacks are also very, very vital. Thank you to everyone who has, been sending us feedbacks, because we sent out feedback forms for the just concluded event, and we hope to have more feedbacks coming in the coming days. We also hope that we'll have you attend our future events, Mind the Mind 3.0, which should be, let's say, this new quarter that we're going to come in. It's supposed to be, it's a quarterly program for now. And so we're hoping that in this new quarter, once the dates are out, we'll let you know. Thank you very much for tuning in now. So we're going to take the questions that we could not take that day. Like I mentioned, there are some that I have here already, and I'm going to try to take them now. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, great. The first one here says, I am a sanguine in nature. So getting to know people or being able to relate with people is not hard for me. But once I am away from that jurisdiction, I tend to move on and get new friends. But when I am back, I remember the old friends, but not all of them see it that way. How do I explain better to my friends? Okay, this person is actually saying that once she's sanguine, he or she is sanguine, and then once he or she moves from a particular location, she tends to move on and get new friends. But when he or she gets back, he or she remembers the old friends. So, and not all of them see it that way. How would she explain better to her friends? I'm using she, okay, just so that I don't have to keep saying he or she, okay? But this could also be a question that will apply to almost everyone, okay? It's not a gender, it's not, gender related, so to speak, but it's just, it actually shows that because everyone has a personality type. We won't go so deeply into the personality types that we have for tonight, but we'll just, answer the question as it is. Okay, the answer that I will give to that person is this. Please note that your personality type is unique, and I celebrate you, okay? However, there's something called emotional bank account in relationships, okay? It's like an acronym, there's an acronym for it, EBA, and it operates like a regular bank account. If you put some money in there, for example, if it was a bank account, we're talking, like a regular bank account now. If you deposit in there, you can draw out later. But if you leave it for too long without operation, it will go dormant, just like your normal regular bank account works. Okay, so you need to keep the line of relationships open if you still value such relationships. So it's not too nice for you to, once you move away from a location, you tend to just forget everything and everyone around the relationships that you kept in that place. Okay, so it means that saying out of sight is out of mind, okay, is what comes to play when it comes to you. But that is not how real relationships work. You're supposed to keep the communication lines open. I would strongly advise, because I would say that the currency of every true relationship is value and respect. Whether you're within the same vicinity or you're not able to value your relationships and also respect them. Okay, whether you're out of sight should not mean out of communication, except if you do not value such relationships. Because if you value it, both parties must make it work. It's not just up to you alone here, because we have situations where it's just one party that keeps, depositing and depositing and depositing. And then the other party wants to draw out when he or she has not made deposits, positive deposits to that relationship. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So please take note that if you value it, both parties must make it work. Okay. Both of you, whether you're on this other side, and it's not just about relationships maybe that are like amorous or that has all these emotional or love feelings attached to them. No. Okay, of course there are different emotions attached to every relationship, and every emotion is valid. Okay, what I mean is it's not just relationships between couples or maybe something amorous. No, it may not necessarily, it may just be your friend, it may be your parents, it may be your boss, it may be everyone that you relate with. Okay, it's not supposed to be one-sided. So to strike a balance here, being sanguine does not mean making friends and not keeping the communication line open. No, it may be a weakness for some sanguines as well as human beings generally. But as humans, we must, however, work on all our weaknesses, but don't give up on your relationships, except if you do not place some level of value on them. That's when we may have such instances. So I'll move quickly. I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much. I'll move quickly to the next question that says, that's just a moment. Based on the discussion that we had, the person was referring to the Zoom meeting that we had on the 27th of June, Mind the Mind 2.0. Based on that discussion, we focused on, when we focused on emotional relationship, my question is, can it be relatable to friendship relationship? Because it's not all relationship that are worth keeping. Must I keep someone being friends with people who are not making me happy? Or must I keep being friends with them? I think that's what the person means, that must I is not about, when we talked about a part where we talked about relationships that were amorous. Let me straighten out this question. Okay, every relationship has emotions attached to it. So when we say some relationships are emotional or some are not, no. I think that what we should say is whether they are amorous kinds of relationship or the regular ones just within friends and all of that. Okay, but every relationship has one emotion or the other, okay, attached to it. Every emotion, we would like to say, all your emotions are valid. okay? It depends on how you relate in that relationship. The kind of communication line open in that relationship is key. So the person was saying, must I keep being friends with some people who are not making me happy? I would answer by saying that you have a right, okay, to exit a relationship once it becomes toxic. Once you do not get positive vibes from each other, it is best to exit. I personally call it homekeeping, okay? Just like the way we do homekeeping on our phones, okay? Once in a while, take stock of your relationships. Do some form of audit, okay? Delete contacts that have not been adding value to you or that you have not even added value to in a while. So it's a vice versa thing. So don't think that, oh, people just have to add value to you and you do not add value to them. The same way you feel is the same way the other person feels on the other side of the fence. So it means that you should sincerely forgive whoever you think is not adding value to you and wish them well. However, when you're exiting such relationships, remember that we are all work in progress. So however, I would like to put a balance to that. Do not slam or break the door of a relationship. Don't tear it down, okay? Close it gently, because you never know whether you may have to go through that same door again or at some point. So we say that even if some relationships are not adding value to it, try as much as possible, get help, seek the right kinds of professional help, okay? And then once you get help, you'll be able to exit such relationships without having too much regrets, okay? And it's okay if you do have some regrets, it's fine. Your emotions, like I said earlier, are very valid. So, and whatever choices we make, most times it will come with either regrets or it will come with either regrets or it will come with very good advantages to it. But whichever one, especially as this question goes, it's okay if your relationships are becoming toxic, just exit the relationship or exit gently. And when you do exit, do not slam or break the door of that relationship, okay? Because you never know, you may have to go through that same, that same door again, okay? Not necessarily like maybe the way you were before, but for some reason or the other, okay? Because this is life and everything revolves and just goes around like that. So like we mentioned at the program, we stated also that just like the saying that everything rises and falls on leadership, we also said that it's okay if we borrow that phrase and say that everything rises and falls on the edge or the brink of relationships too, because we're all intertwined. That's how we're wired, okay? I hope that answers your question as well. The third one says, how can I help my teenage niece and nephew in the aspect of opposite relationships? I noticed they're already having boyfriends. What are possible ways on how to start a conversation and what are possible questions to ask them? Okay, I would answer by saying that you can help by not judging them. That's the first thing, okay? Trust them and show them some love, earn their trust, and find out what their opinion is about relationships. Because the truth of the matter is, with the generation that you mentioned, the way they see or think may be a little different from what and how you perceive things, because everyone has, the right to actually see things the way they want to see things, okay? They have a right to that. And you cannot, just fault or judge anyone's perception. However, because of the concern that you already have, probably in not wanting them, go wrong, just earn their trust, okay? That's the starting point. Don't judge them. Earn their trust, find out what their opinion is about relationships, what they want to achieve with it, or why they are in it. What are their values? All these questions, you also wanted to know what questions you should ask. What are their values? And then also note that you need to understanding them will point you in the way to guide them and strengthen their values. And that's very key. Okay, understanding how their perspective, or how their thinking works, understanding what they think about an issue or what they think about the relationships that you're in. You tend to understand them so that you'll be able to know how to come in to strengthen their values. Above all, be a good mentor to them continually, because from your question, it actually seems like you're very, very close. Be a good mentor to them continually so that even in your deeds and in your words, they can easily trust you. If you still find it hard to penetrate their space, you can recommend a teen coach to them through their parents. Of course, they will need their parental consent also. And then you get them books or materials that will help. You can also get them to express themselves basically without you showing fear or being judgmental. Once you start showing, oh, this and that, what are you guys doing? Then they may, be drawn back to you and may not really come as close as you want them to come, so that they will be able to, and they may not be able to open up to you. So you need to love them to the point of submitting to the right values that they will tell you about. Because we had mentioned earlier that there's a very it's very important for you to get them to a point of telling you what their values are, and you should show them love so much so that they are ready to take the decisions by their values. Okay, take decisions that are very objective, not the ones that will pull down their values, but the ones that will strengthen their values. So I'm sure that they will be fine. Okay, usually it comes with that phase and that time of their lives, but with the right balancing with love, with some understanding, then I think that it will be easier for you to connect to them. Okay, all right, those are the questions, some of the questions we received. I'm trying to check out to see some other questions. Okay, I see one here. I have decided to stay on my own. Every lady I meet seem like scam to me, and my parents want a wife. I am under pressure here. What do I do? So I guess this person is a man that wants to settle down. However, every lady you meet seem like scam to you, and your parents are putting you under pressure. What do you do? Okay, right from here, I would like to say that you should take a breather, okay? And then also, when you're taking a breather, you're relax. It means that you should relax, okay? And relax in a way so that it's not like you're relaxing and you're still worried or just unnecessarily anxious about the situation. I'll need you to, take your time, because rushing, because some people are putting you under pressure or your parents are putting you under pressure, will not solve anything, okay? Take your time, and I would like you also to, because you mentioned that every lady you meet, okay? I need you to try as much as possible, avoid that error of generalization, because even though you may have met some ladies that seem like scam, there are still many more out there that are not scam, okay? You may need to also look inwards and check to see the pattern that you have been, that has, played out in almost all relationships that you have been in. If you check out, just like I remember Coach Tolu addressing this kind of question as well, and she mentioned that even right on the program, she mentioned that when you check relationship A, what pattern played out? Can you see the same pattern in the second relationship? Can you see the same pattern in the other relationship? So check out the patterns. The same way, I need you to look inwards. Are there things that you're doing that seem to be like your own blueprint for every relationship? So I think that you may need to watch it at that point. If there are things that you do, if there are attitudes that you put out, and it seems like that's the same thing that you do in every relationship, then you may need to watch it, because at the end of the day, you will also need to, at the end of the day, you may also need to check yourself, do an x-ray of your mind and your emotions. Just a moment. Do an x-ray of your mind and emotions. And I think that you will be fine. Once you are able to, to stop all of this, and I'm sure that you will be fine. Just a moment. Let me take care of that. Just a moment, please. Are you picking something or not? I'm live on. I'm sorry that I had to, go off for a minute. So sorry about that. Okay, so like I was saying, please take note that you have the right to x-ray yourself. Do all of that for yourself. And when you do that for yourself, do all of that for yourself. And when you do that for yourself, please take note that when all of this, when all the actions, if you are able to x-ray the way you have reacted in all the relationships, if there are things that you have done that you see that that pattern is not working, then you may need to change it. Because the truth is, you cannot keep doing things the same way and be expecting a different result. It doesn't work that way. So just look inwards, take an x-ray of yourself, and then if you feel that all the ladies you've been meeting feel like, or they seem like scam, then it's time for you to also check yourself and wonder if you're not actually scam. Okay, is the truth, but it has to be said. So you check out your motives and see whether, if you find out that your motives are pure and you are not scammed, then you may just need to, check out the patterns, watch out the patterns. If there are a certain type of ladies that you like, try as much as possible to look, beyond maybe physical appearances or whatever it is that may have, been causing such patterns. Just try as much as possible. Why not just change that tactics this time around? So I need you to please work on yourself and see how that will lead you. And more importantly, it's advisable that you try as much as possible to check in with a premarital coach or premarital counselor, so that a professional in that field, okay, so that you'll be able to have the right help that you want, okay? Just a moment. I'm trying to see if there's any other question. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, I think we've been able to take almost all the questions. Please, and please, if you have any other question, you can please send to us on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram at Emotional Wellness Tribe. You can also do us an email at emotionalwellnesstribe@gmail.com. So we'll be glad to have you, glad to have your questions, and then we'll also answer them. Thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful time here with you. I really, really do appreciate you checking us out. Please like, subscribe, and also comments if you have any comments. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.